Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Saur Darkchylde, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Replay Ace Attorney Investigations. Last time, we just started this case, and not almost immediately after we just started, there's been a fire and a murder in the emissary. And already Kay got herself into a bit of trouble as the events took place. However, we are somewhat able to clear her name and somewhat help Franziska, who was there under the investigation of a smuggling ring, help her piece together more puzzle pieces for her investigation. And then learned that the murder weapon is not of the Babal embassy, but the other one that I cannot pronounce at the moment. So, in wondering where that blade came from, we have to visit that other embassy and ask around to see if we can put more of the pieces together. Buckle up, folks. It's going to be a long case, and this is where things start to come full circle. March 14th, 2019, 7:44 p.m. Theorem. Theatrum. Neutralis. Lobby. Oh, it's Agent Lang. Counter. One. Shifu, 99 count-offs. So all 99 members, hers are most likely here, her and accounted for, sir. Hey, you! Yeah, you! The second number one from my right. Sir, yes, sir! Here, a birthday present for you. What? Shifu, I didn't think you knew all of our birthdays. What a kind heart you have, Shifu. You are more of a man than we'll ever be, sir. I'm really sorry, sir, but it's not really my birthday. Zongzi says his Akab who disrespects orders her soon feels the disciplinary bite of an elder. That present isn't for you. It's for your younger brother's wife, brother. Tell them I said hi and happy birthday, won't you? Yes, sir! Shifu, I can't believe you remember so much about each of us. Shifu, I'm so moved by that, I can't stop crying! I should probably leave them to their alone time. Alright, meeting's over. Everyone, head for your posts. Dismissed! Sir! Yo, you were the guy. Were you guys there the whole time? I got a call from Shizna. She's already filled me in. It sounds like you're out to get in my way again. I have absolutely no intention of interrupting your investigation. I simply request that you grant me permission to investigate the Elibastian embassy.
And what if I say no?
Agent Lang, this man is my subordinate. As I have received permission from the ambassador, it is to be expected the same rights.
Sorry, sis, but it's not that simple. Elibast
has the strictest immigration regulations
in the world, or didn't you know? Even among my elite men, about only half of them were admitted into the country. Besides, it's any more cooks in the kitchen, and we might spoil the soup, if you get what I mean.
How dare you make such an assumptions?
Don't take this the wrong way, but I thought I was in charge of Elibas, Miss Von Karma. Look, try to understand, okay? Things over in Elibas are a bit of a mess right now.
What do you mean by a bit of a mess?
No one told you? We had an incident in Elibas as well. This is what we call a decision based on the investigations, Mr. Prosecutor.
Look, Wolfie, just let us in already.
Is there a problem here, Agent Lang?
Not really, just having a discussion about whether or not to let these guys in.
Ambassador Alba, I ask that you please allow these people to join the investigation.
Having a debate about because of my country? I'm terribly sorry for placing you good people in that kind of situation. It is all because I lack the strength to govern well. Please, it is nothing of the sort, Ambassador.
You weakling! Curtis, of course you frailly and inevitably to effect charge into your country.
What are you?
The thing is, investigations conducted here in my country have been under Agent Lang. And it is my judgment that in order to minimize disruption in the investigation, I should leave everything up to Agent Lang.
There, you see?
Oh, no way!
Ambassador Alba, I ask that you please reconsider letting them into Elibast.
What's that?
My very own secretary has been murdered in the Belabanese embassy. And he was apparently caught up in some very shady dealings completely unbeknownst to me. So I ask for your cooperation in our investigation. These aren't much, but I hope they can cover your travel expenses in Babel someday.
Alright, I get it. even if you beg Ambassador Elba, I still have to give the final okay anyway.
All right, you hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? We're in.
Not so fast, my little crow girl. Oh, you're still a witness in the Babel murder. So I'd like you to please stay in the Republic of Babel.
Detective Gumshoe, please take good care of Kay for me.
Yes, sir. Sounds good to me. The fewer troublemakers, the better. Ugh.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes?
So I wanted to ask you a while now, but that lady over there, is she who I think she is?
Ah, that's right. I didn't introduce you to the two of you yet.
Franziska von Karma, the prosecutorial prodigy. It's nice to see you again. Oh, I knew it! You're the whipped lady. You may address me as Miss von Karma. Miss von Karma, I lead the investigation in Alibest in your hands. Thanks. Rest assured, I will outsmart both the smuggling ring and the Yatagarasu.
The smuggling ring, huh? Perhaps I should ask Franziska a bit more about them before I head into Alabest. Ah, and I mustn't forget to thank Ambassador Palladino for all that he has done for me. Ambassador Palladino, I am in your debt. No, it's nothing. Because it's about all I can do for you, I'm afraid. I only ask that you please bring Manny's killer to justice. I will, Ambassador, on my honor. Wow, you're so sentimental. Oh, you've really piqued my curiosity. I know, they aren't much, but know that I'm giving him to you wholeheartedly. That's quite alright. Oh, well, how about this then? And what exactly is it? It's a fountain pen ink. Known as Babelese ink. It's made exclusively in Babel. So this is Babelese ink. We make it from white crystal oil, which is mined through our mineral mines. Please accept this ink. One dip of your fountain pen in this, and you can write for hours in your organizer. How fortunate for me. The ink in my pen just happened to have run out. I gladly accept your gracious gift. Great! Wonderful! I guarantee you that writing with our ink is an unforgettable experience. And since we don't export it, if you run out, you're always welcome to come and visit our fair nation. Talk about cornering the customer along with the market. You made so much progress in your investigation in such a short period of time. It's truly amazing. Agent Hicks, whose help I had requested, was cut down before he completed his task. There is no room for future failure in my perfect investigation. In spite of that, I believe you were able to obtain some insight into the ring, correct? It was nothing. I simply made some deductions based on the smuggling item I was following. You mean the Babylese ink? But why are there restrictions on the export of Babylese ink to begin with? That's classified Interpol info. Franziska, as your subordinate, I am part of your investigation now. But don't you think it would be beneficial if I was to be as well informed as you? Point taken. Very well then. And I'll inform you. Recently, we discovered some very well-made counterfeit bills circulating in Zhongfa. Counterfeit bills? Yes, as you may have deduced, these counterfeit hits are being made with Bebel's special Babylese ink. And it's virtually impossible to distinguish bills made with Babylese ink for real ones. Thus, it was only natural for Interpol to keep an eye on the Republic of Babel. That's where this document comes into play, correct? Correct. Mr. Cochin was smuggling large amounts of Babylese ink. Furthermore, he was charged with running the embassy's printing equipment. That's all the evidence I needed to know that he was the head of the smuggling ring. However, there remains one tiny problem. Let me guess. You still have yet to find the counterfeit bills or the smuggling ink. Yes, and while we're listing things, I might as well add the counterfeit plates to the pile. Since we haven't been able to locate any of these items in the Babylese embassy, we're looking into the Alabastian embassy next. It doesn't matter where they're hidden. Mark my words, I will find them. Well, shall we get going? What's wrong, Kay? I didn't get permission to enter Alibest. So we're going to gather whatever info we can over on the Babylese side, okay? Alright, I'm counting on you two. Right. Hey, and I'm counting on you, Miss Bonkama, to sniff out clues in Alibest. Oh, and Mr. Edgeworth, if you happen to come across my phony, let me know, okay? If you tell me, I'll rush over straight away, no matter where you are. I'll let you know when the time comes. Oh boy. This is going to be a long investigation.
do you think you're doing to my subordinate?
You're... Angie! Hey, oh, thank heavens you're here! Well, if it isn't our old friend Larry Butts. And as the old saying goes in the Ace Attorney games, when something smells, it's usually the butts. I'm in a really big pickle, your lordship. The Raven, and it's arrived. It's appeared, poof, and then disappeared, swoosh. And though I am the Steel Samurai, my sword, I'm so confused, I don't know what anything means anymore. Who is this fruitcake? I am Larry of the House of Butts. That's Manfred, married man of Neo Tokyo, milady. Now I remember, this person is one of your friends, isn't he? Isn't he, Miles? He's frighteningly enough, he is. Hey, what's up with that answer? Your best bud is in a bind, and you act like it's no big deal? What sort of bind are we talking about here? The suspect kind! I accidentally became a suspect in a murder! I see. That is quite a bind. Not that we're in the least bit surprised. Yes, I pretty much expected this news. From the instant I saw this unlucky face. This man, his name is Larry Butts. I've known him since grade school, and as far as I've known him, he has been the world's largest source of trouble with a capital T. Hey, what kind of introduction is that? You're so mean, Edgy! If you're not careful, you might find your tiny number, her friends go down to 1. Go down by 1. That was uncalled for. Besides, Wait, hold on. Larry? It was you! You're the one who wrote my Steel Samurai autograph. Oh, you didn't notice earlier? Even I winked at you through my headpiece. What's going on? And why are you beet red? Sorry, but could you not speak to me right now? Oh, sorry. Am I interrupting your comical yet melodramatic play? Aha. So, this is the incident you mentioned earlier. Mr. Prosecutor, this childhood friend of yours, is our prime suspect. Of what, you ask? Of murder of a man who had snuck into this embassy. Mask 2. Mask 2? Only Larry could get himself into yet another mess as fine as this. But no matter what the facts seem to say, Larry is not the type to commit murder. Still, it's a rather daunting stroke of misfortune I've struck. I'd have to prove that Larry Butts is innocent of all wrongdoing. Shifu, we've identified the victim.
Good work. Good work. I'll take that report now.
Agent Lang, hey, would you mind if I took a peek at it as well?
What did I tell you earlier, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't get in my way! There's only enough flesh here to feed one wolf, and that one is me. So no, you may not take a look. So no, you may not take a peek.
But Agent Lang...
Hey, it's Detective Bad.
Agent Lang, will you allow an investigator such as myself take a look?
Oh, yes, of course. Here's you. Let the detective see the file.
You're Detective Bad! You're the prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth, right? Fancy meeting you here, Detective. You weren't expecting me? Ever since that day 7 years ago, I've chased after the Yatagarasu non-stop. I've even pressured Interpol into keeping me in the loop, in case a card was ever found. What incredible dedication to the case.
Detective Bad knows the Yatagarasu's MO very well. And his passion for the case hasn't died down in these 7 long years. It's something I can respect. But Detective Bad, I must ask, are you going to make an ally out of this prosecutor?
My only goal is to arrest the Yatagarasu. If he can get to the bottom of this case, then I'm willing to share info with him. I am in your debt, Detective Bad. About the murder of Master Mass 2, would you be willing to fill me in on a few of the details? When the Yatagarasu showed up, Agent Lang and I took ourselves off guard duty. And put ourselves in charge of directing things at this crime scene. Taking advantage of the chaos. Master Mass 2, he broke into this embassy. Probably to steal some treasure or another. And I suppose he lost his life when he was forced to fight someone in this room? Why exactly was that man placed under arrest, Detective? That samurai? He was born looking suspicious, but not for the reason you suspect, I assure you. As you can plainly see, he is completely harmless. Well, it was just a random guess. It's not like he's actually under arrest. Tonight, we're the here at the Alabastian Embassy. Ambassador Elba was to give a commemorative speech. And that's when the Yatagarasu showed. But keep in mind, the Yatagarasu isn't who I'm talking about right now. Those seats, for the guests who had been called to sit in them, were empty. A no-show? Who was it that failed to take their seat? the Steel Samurai. Until the speech was to begin, each member of the entire Steel Samurai family was to wait in a separate room. However, for some weird reason, that man was spotted in a different location than his arranged room at that time. And where was he? He was on the roof with one of his legs down a chimney. That chimney leads directly into this room.
Larry Butts, you've really outdone yourself this time. What were you thinking?
In any case, I believe it's high time for me to start my investigation.
Oh, Larry. You were in so much trouble again, and this time more serious than just murder. And that one he got help from Phoenix. Now let's see. Let's start with that knife rack.
There are some weapons on display on this wall, and a crossbow, and under that, a set of knives bearing a flower motif. They must be the counterpart of the Baboese knife, which means that the blades inside these scabbards should match the blade that was used to kill Mr. Cochin. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious nook and cranny.
Okay, let's examine the 3 knives.
The knives are bordered with flowers on the display here. I suspect that these are the counterparts of the Baboese knife. The blades of these knives should match the blade of the knife that killed Mr. Cochin. What? One of the knives is missing its blade. Let's see if the 2 pieces, the blade and handle, fit each other.
It would appear that they fit together quite well, almost seamlessly.
Then this means that an Albestian knife did find its way to Babel. But how?
Let's look at this. Let me just examine this as... Let's deduce that. Deducing that with this.
Larry, about this spear.
Oh, are you feeling it? Bam!
I thought there was something strange about this spear. Tell me, Larry, is it just me, or is this spear a bit bent?
What? No way! Hey, it's exactly as it should be!
I have here the autograph you wrote for me earlier. Now take a good look at this, which you drew with your own hands. As you can see, the spear is clearly in a different shape.
Ah!
What do you have to say to that?
I'm sorry! When I held the spear in my hands, all of a sudden I feel super powerful. And then during practice, I was spinning it around and around. and BAM! It hit a wall! You unbelievable! This is an embassy! But I've always been like that, ever since I was a kid! One time, him on an overnight field trip, I bought a fake sword and played with it late in the night. I'm just a useless hot-blooded man!
Larry? Clarify that for me, will you?
Okay, so it was some field trip, so I began to shadow fight with myself.
Not that. I meant what you said earlier about spinning the spear and hitting the wall.
Oh, that? It's no biggie. It's not like I left a hole or anything.
That was not why I'm asking, Larry. The samurai spear is made of metal. I somehow doubt that a move as simple as spinning it around would cause it to bend.
Man, Edgy, you're so naive.
What? Where did that come from?
Well, you keep calling it the samurai spear, but it's not real. Oh, you can't really fight someone with it because it's hollow on the inside. You could hit it against practically anything and it would bend.
Is that so?
Don't tell me you thought it was real. Oh, but don't take it the wrong way. I just think that part of your personality is cute. I see. Your friendship truly is something special, Miles Edgeworth.
That's not friendship. It's utter humiliation.
Okay. Now then. I think we examined everything we needed here. So let's examine the body.
Okay, so this is the victim Master Mask 2.
What is with this gaudy outfit?
You don't know about Master Mask? A few months ago, this thief caused a lot of havoc on the populace.
So this thief is separate from the Yatagarasu?
I thought they were for a while, because their MO and targets were different. Master Mask likes high-value trinkets and jewels, and being gaudy, is his signature. Gumshoe was in charge of that investigation, so he'd know more about Master Mask.
That's alright. All I'd probably hear are tales of his failure anyway.
You haven't changed a bit, I see. In any case, let's get started, shall we? I won't rest until I inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
What's that in his hand?
What is he holding? It looks like a piece of paper from a notepad. It would appear that directions on how to reach this room were written by hand. There is something written on the back as well.
I'd like to steal the Primidoc statue in this room. What is that supposed to mean? Who writes a note to themselves like that?
If I had to guess from the text, I would say that this is actually a request from someone about what to steal. Just who is the person left that required the theft of the Premiduc statue?
Alright, his head?
I thought that Master Mask had quit the business. This guy, he's just a copycat using the name, a phony successor. He's just another petty thief. His real identity is an out-of-work guy by the name of Kashi Nu. He's 29 and wanted on larceny charges. From his clothes and what he was carrying, we determined that this guy was the real Damas 2. The cause of death appears to be he loss of blood from the back of his head. It seems that he was struck with something very hard. In other words, he was bludgeoned to death.
Okay, sword.
So this is the murder weapon of this case?
There's blood on the blade. It's a rather sweeping sword, isn't it?
What did you expect? It's Steel Samurai's his secondary weapon. I only call it his secondary because although he uses his sword in most of his battles, it's this trusty samurai spear that he tends to in a real fight.
You sure know quite a bit about the Steel Samurai.
That's only because I saw the stage show earlier. The owner of the sword is the Steel Samurai, or in other words, Larry. I should probably ask him about it, whatever. As detrimental as it is to proving he's innocent.
Okay. Let's talk to Larry. You got some explaining to do, buddy.
Larry, there are a few things I need to ask about you.
Hey, how about that? And I've got a few things I gotta ask you too.
What is it?
It's like both you and him. How is it that the two of you always manage to have some cute or hot girl by your side? And Frenzy, what about that promise you made to me? Promise? What promise?
Oh boy. Larry.
The one where you said you would model for my next book, Frenzy's Whippity Whip Trip. Yo! I made no such promise.
Ever since grade school, we've had a certain saying about Larry. When something smells, it's usually the butts. One needs to look no further than this man to find the king of troublemakers. As I recall, aren't you calling yourself Lawrence Duxnam now?
That's Duxnam! Lawrence Duxnam! Get that straight in your head, Edgy! Ow, 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 ow!
Now I remember. You're that rude, pale imitation of a real artist. No! You've got it all wrong! I gave up on the whole Lawrence business. Besides, when Benjolina left me, and my heart hurt in pieces, that's when Mindy walked into my life. She's been so good to me that I wanted to help her in some way. And I figured I could through the Steel Samurai outfit. Your name blathering makes less and less sense each time we meet.
I believe he's saying that he picked up this part-time job as the Steel Samurai so that he may attempt to capture the heart of the actress who plays the Pink Princess.
You got it! I knew you know what I meant, Edgy?
Not really. It's not so much as I understand, but a simple deduction based on your usually modus or operandi, Larry. Larry, I'd like you to confess right now to everything you did tonight.
Confess? Hey, don't tell me you suspect me too!
Nonsense. I don't believe you have the mental odyssey needed to plan and execute a murder. However, we are talking about you here, so I find it hard to believe that nothing happened. For past experiences has taught me that you are always at the center of some insane event.
Angie, how can you be so mean, stabbing me with your words like that?
Unfortunately, I don't have the time to search out a key to unlock your heart this time. So, I suggest that you cooperate and tell me what you know.
Okay, I get it. Just stop Francie from whipping me from behind. So, I guess you know what I did, right, Edgy?
I can't even begin to imagine. However, I imagine that whatever you were up to was probably beyond my imagination. So you will tell me what exactly you did, Larry.
Nope, not yet, Edgy. It'll take more than that to loosen my lips. A lot more! Confess, now! Oh. Okay, well, I was up on the roof.
And why exactly were you up there?
Oh, you know. Oh, that wintry costume? And legendary hero? Legendary?
Hero?
Santa Claus!
Santa Claus?
I wanted to do that thing he does, so I climbed up to one of the chimneys. But when I got there was smoke pouring out of the chimney.
And?
Well, I couldn't go down the chimney. He with smoke coming up, right? So I gave up.
Larry, you do realize that Santa Claus does not exist, right?
Of course I know. Oh, I did graduate from junior high, you know.
Then you should also understand this. If Santa was real, he would be the biggest unlawfully trespasser in history.
Aw, crud!
It is your attempt to imitate Santa that has landed you as a prime suspect in this murder.
Come on, man, what's so wrong with pretending to be Santa?
Let's start with the fact that it will be the idea. Let's start with the fact that it be the Eyes of March in a matter of hours. Santa only visits homes on December 24th. That's in December, you nitwit!
No! Hey, wait a second. We're not in court.
Larry, about the samurai sword that was used as the murder weapon?
Oh, that? Well, I shook hands with the ambassador in this room, you know.
Yes, apparently you did.
And, well, I totally forgot about it when I left it behind when I left afterwards. I want to talk about shock. You want to talk about shock? I was the most shocked of all when I heard it killed someone. Shocked! Foolish fool, looking especially foolish for foolishly stating a foolish excuse. You forgot to take something so big with you. Who would believe such a tale?
Sorry, Miss Bonkarma, but I believe him. Because if anyone could forget something like that, it would be Larry.
Angie, you believe me! I just knew our friendship is something special!
Anyway, even if Larry had forgotten the sword and left it behind, that in a way clears his name. Which means that I will have to prove his innocence from a different angle. Oh boy, Larry. Alright. Back to investigating. Let's see, that small table over there. The person shaking hands with the steel samurai is Ambassador Alba.
It was taken just before the murder.
The steel samurai must be very popular. They're even using the national treasure as a backdrop. I just don't understand what exactly is so great about the top knot there. Clearly, there is a depth to this show. Oh, that a young person like you, who can't understand, can't fathom.
Speaking of young people, aren't young children the target audience of this show of costumed actors?
Okay. Guess I'll examine the statue. There was the exact same statue sitting in that Babali's office we examined. What's the... It's the Pre-Duck statue. Primduck statue. Premiduck statue. Who it was the national treasure of the full principality of Shadofia. There was only one of these statues, meaning that one of these two is a replica. But both Elibes and the Babel claim to have the real thing. Which is an incredibly childish fight to have. Okay. We have a deduce here. Okay, hopefully I'm doing this right. Look at this photo and tell me what you find odd about this scene, Miss Von Karma.
The apparent joy on the ambassador's face has, as he shakes that top-knot's hand.
That's not it. I was trying to point out that the statue in the photo is facing a different way.
You're right.
This statue is a national treasure. As such, only an ambassador or a secretary level person is allowed to handle it. The fact that the statue is facing one way in this photo, and now it's facing a different direction in this preserved crime scene, is proof that someone touched this statue around the time of the crime. Okay. Window. Two gorgeous flowers are in bloom here. I'm sure flowers as lovely as these must have an equally as lovely name.
Mouse Edgeworth, are you done staring? I should hardly think passion flowers are all that rare.
Passion flowers? That's a rather unusual name.
It was named by a priest in the 15th century for the Passion of Christ.
As they say, you learn something new every day. I guess that about wraps up my investigation. That's...
Yo, Pink Princess! Yes, how are you feeling? Still feeling ill? And yet another strange character comes out of the woodwork.
And so the Pink Princess also comes to pay the Alabastian embassy a visit. I believe I may need to speak with her as well.
Oh, Edgy. You're probably gonna regret this.
Miss Pink Princess, I have a few questions I'd like to ask you.
And this is certainly going to kill my voice.
Miss Pink Princess, if you were...
Me?
This must be what they call fate.
How could you happen? How could this happen 2 days in a row?
What the? Aren't you Miss Oldbag?
Why are you so surprised?
So you're the one, and they got to play the Steel Samurai. It's too bad I didn't realize that until now.
Are you acquaintances with Larry?
Why, yes. Yes, we worked at the same company for a little while, you know. That's why it's okay, my edgy poo. You don't need to be jealous. I was in the next room, you know, trying to get some beauty sleep. But it was so noisy here that I couldn't fall asleep, so I came over to complain. So imagine my shock when I saw my precious edgy poo waiting here for me. I mean,
Who could have imagined that you would ever come to a show like this? I guess I've misjudged you, Edgy Poo.
You misjudged him?
I thought he was just trying to avoid me, you know?
That was no misjudgment on your part. That's precisely what I was trying to do.
But it looks like the winds have shifted, and now he's now willing to be chased after. I'm simply overwhelmed. Don't you worry, Edgy Poo. I'd chase you forever, to the ends of the earth.
Isn't that just peachy?
This is one of those rare times when Franziska and I actually see eye to eye.
Oh, jeez Louise.
Now then, what are you doing here? I thought you were working at the Gatewater Lands as the Pink Badger.
What are you talking about? Oh, that was ages ago.
That was yesterday!
Look, I worked at Global Studios before, a long time ago, right? Well, they called me up this morning, kind of out of the blue, actually.
They called you?
Apparently, the girl who plays the Pink Princess collapsed from a bad cold. It happened so suddenly, they called me in to be her last-minute replacement.
Do they have enough people on staff at that studio?
I really couldn't say no, so here I am, playing the role of the heroine. Instead of that Mindy girl, I mean. The poor girl, I feel bad for her. Because they let me stand in for her.
Fudge, she's speaking fast. You're done? Good. You're a rather lively old lady.
So basically, you received a stand-in request this morning, correct?
You got it. If you need to see it, I've got it right here. Look.
It appears that she is telling the truth.
I tell you, my fine acting moved the entire audience to tears.
Yes, tears of laughter, as I recall.
But being famous has its problems too, you know. Here, take a look at this. It's a letter from a stalker. I was just taking my break when I found this stuck under the door to my room. Honestly, you really have to watch out for these kinds of things. Look at what it says. Wendy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight. Your loving night. How absolutely revolting. I mean, you think he'd be right? He'd get my name right? Hey, there's no accent in my name.
Wait, this horrible handwriting. Where have I seen this before?
But now that you're here, Edgy Poo, I feel 100% safe.
Where do I factor into this?
You'd bust the evil stalker man for my sake, wouldn't you, Edgy Poo?
Well, if you allow me the liberty to handle this in my own way, I'll gladly dispatch a detective to your house later.
Oh, come on, Edgy Poo. Stop being so dismissive and playing hard to get.
What were you doing at the time of the crime?
What crime?
What?
After the show is over, I've had nothing but free time on my hands. So I used the fireplace in the room next door to keep my bad hip warm.
Well, a murder occurred in the room right next to yours.
Is that right? Oh, edgy poo, I'm scared. Hold me, caress me.
Yeah. If you could please not cling to my personage.
In any case, I take it then that you failed to show up at Ambassador Alba's speech?
Oh, that? No, I didn't go. I mean, I may be the heart of a young tender maiden, but my body just refuses to cooperate at times. As soon as the show ended, my hip started acting up and got stiff. I couldn't move at all.
Can you provide proof of your condition?
Oh, you just go on ahead and ask the doctors in the infirmary. They're the ones who carried me from the theater all the way to this embassy.
I have to admit, the thought of her not being able to leave that room is rather pleasant. Prosecutor von Karma, I've brought the police dog as you requested.
Oh hey, Missile! Good work. You may leave now, officer.
This dog.
I requested the assistance of a dog in our search for the Yaragarasu.
Looks like you guys have some pretty bright dogs in this country, too. Hey, you're a real cutie, aren't you? Yeah, that's a good boy.
That's the police dog. Her gumshoe's been taken care of. I think its name is Missile.
What a fitting name for a police dog that dashes out in front and attacks.
That action alone isn't exactly what's going to solve the case for us, you know.
Now, Missile, I want you to find some clues. Go! Good dog. You really are quite bright, aren't you? Unlike a certain someone I know. Now, what do we have here? What's this? What is this? It looks like a small hot dog, but...
Wait, Franziska? Isn't that the official samurai dog?
Ah, no! Bad Missile! He ate it. I wonder if it's alright for him to eat that.
It's just a meat substance and snack featuring the steel samurai. I'm sure he'll be fine.
That's quite a bit of information you gathered there in a single quick glance.
We should really be focusing on why there was a samurai dog there in the first place.
It looks like that snack wasn't all Missile found.
Oh, and what do we have here?
It appears to be a lady's undershirt. I wonder if Ambassador Alba might have an interest in cross-dressing.
I somehow doubt that. It doesn't look like the shirt would even fit him. A samurai dog and a lady's undershirt. What are these two items doing in a room like this? Given the circumstances, the lady's undershirt could only belong to one person. I suppose I should get this over with and ask the owner of said undershirt about it. If you could please take a look at this brown-colored undershirt.
Oh, Edgy-Boo. What is the meaning of this? Why did you steal that thing from my bags? All you had to do was ask, and I would have gladly given you as many as you'd like.
Thanks, but no thanks. This shirt was found here at this crime scene.
What?
Come now, why don't you just confess and explain what it's doing here?
I know nothing. Nothing, I tell you.
What?
Oh, I admit that I used the fireplace to dry that shirt. But I can't really help the fact that I had to, you know? Wearing that pink princess costume was like being in a sauna. And on top of that, I get figured as a suspect. You're too cruel, Edgy-Poo.
Are you claiming that you never once set foot in this room?
Of course I am. If I had been the one to find the body, do you think I'd be as calm and relaxed as I am?
There she goes. Just gotta wait for her to stop. Okay. Well. I don't believe she is lying about her actions. So I can safely assume she really was drying her shirt by the fireplace on her break. And somehow, the undershirt managed to move from the next room to this one. I assume the samurai dog was also yours?
Ah, that brilliant mind of yours. You really can see through everything about me.
And so the feeling of dread continues. But I suppose I should ask more details. That samurai dog was yours, wasn't it?
Oh, of course. I'm forever yours, my Edgy-Wedgy-Poo.
If you could please, just stick to what I asked you.
Edgy, are you a missile bag?
No.
You really don't change, do you? When will you learn how to take a joke? Anyway, that samurai dog wasn't mine. Those things are a present from the studio to the embassy.
A present? The studio bigwigs basically told us to play delivery boys. We were supposed to hand the dogs off to the embassy people and tell them hi. I had a pile of them all into the push cart just to move them all. Those studio guys should have delivered those things by themselves, right, Edgy?
So did you deliver the samurai dogs to the embassy staff as per your instructions?
Hey, Edgy, don't just ignore me and my question. Aren't you going to stick up for me?
And about that, see, after the show, I went to rest a spell in the dressing room. because of my bad hip, you know. And there they were. The samurai dogs were just sitting on the dressing room floor.
I suppose you had to make preparations for distributing them after the show?
Well, if by preparations you mean by sampling them, him as well.
Excuse me?
When I tried one, and I thought they were actually quite good. Sorry, but I just had to find out. I know I was silly. It was silly of me to think of this, but I figure that since they're for a kids show, their taste was probably for kids too. But they were good. So good that I couldn't stop. Before I went back to my dressing room, I just had to help myself to half a dozen or so boxes. As I sat there in roaring fire, warming them and eating them, I thought, this is... What is it now? Oh, I know. I bet you want a box too, don't you, Mayaji Poo? Well, who am I to say no to you? But I'll only give you one. The rest are all for me.
Looks like the lesson for today is that the Steel Samurai and the Pink Princess take off their mask, they transform into a pair of annoying troublemakers.
Logic time. Let's see. Smoke from the chimney. Talk about bad timing. Used fireplace.
There is no trace of this room's fireplace being used.
And your point is?
Ahem. Smoke was supposedly pouring out of the chimney connected to this fireplace. At least according to Larry, this is a contradiction of facts. Hex, is it not?
And you are you sure he wasn't just disoriented or something up on that roof?
There is testimony from an investigation that puts Larry at this particular chimney. So no, I don't think it was a mistake and impression on Larry's part. On the other hand, the fireplace in the next room was being used at the time. Where do you suppose the smoke from that fireplace went?
Ah, I see. So what are you proposing is... the smoke that came out of the chimney, was actually from Miss Oldbag's fire. So basically the fireplaces of neighboring rooms share one chimney. Is that what you're implying?
It precisely. The lady's undershirt that Miss L found.
Ugh. Why are you getting all excited over holding into a lady's undergarment? Miles Edgeworth, you uncouth sea slug! If you know the owner of said undergarment, then hurry up and return it to her immediately.
You have it all wrong. This is evidence. And the owner of this piece of evidence was in the other room next door. And yet, despite that, Missile found it in the fireplace of this room. This lady's undershirt.
Are you seriously claiming that it somehow passed through the solid brick wall?
Not quite. The fireplace in this room is connected to a chimney. The other fireplace is the other room. In the other room is also connected to the same chimney, leading us to the possibility that the two fireplaces are connected to each other.
Perhaps a closer look at the back of the fireplace is in order.
There is an X on the back wall of the fireplace. Let's see if I can't get a better look at that.
What the?
The wall separating this room's fireplace from the next room's fireplace apparently turns. As I suspected, this fireplace does indeed connect this room to the neighboring room.
The neighboring room?
There appears to be nothing peculiar about the next room. But the fact that there is nothing special about the next room isn't what's important. The fact that there is a secret passageway through this room's fireplace
We now know that the fireplace connects to two rooms. But how exactly is that significant? You aren't going to suddenly name him the old bag as Damask 2's killer now, are you?
No. She couldn't move at all because of her stiff hip. So she could not have been the one. Unfortunately, I believe that this fireplace has nothing whatsoever to do with Damask 2's murder. It would appear that the answer has made itself known.
You're making quite a confident face there, Mr. Prosecutor. Bring it on, and I'm ready to counter any argument you may have.
Very well then. If you're prepared, I'll show you exactly where my deductions have led me.
Good! I'm counting on you, AG!
Leave it to me, Larry. My first attack will be to expose your lie for what it really is.
My lie?
I know that there is still something you are keeping from the rest of us.
But what's wrong with you? Why is it you won't believe me, no matter what I say, Edgy? Curse you! I should just hurry up and die already, if that's how it's gonna be. I confess to every murder in the whole world, and then I kill myself. And throw everything into mass confusion.
You made some wonderful friends as a child, I see.
Larry, I only have one thing to say to you.
Even if you make that face at me, it's no use. A man who is ready to die is strong-willed, you know?
Larry, it doesn't matter what sort of harebrained trouble you cause. I only ask that you don't lie to me. If you do cause an innocent person to be judged unfairly because of some insipid lie, I will never forgive you.
Edgy!
Although, allow me to say that I consider you among the innocent in this case. And that I will draw the real killer out. You can trust me on this.
Alright, this time I'll tell you the whole truth, okay? What happened? And what didn't happen? The works.
Just what happened will do. Now then, if you would please testify as to what you did up on the roof tonight.
I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to try to wrap this up by just skipping to the answers after this testimony. Oh boy. On the rooftop.
After the show, I left the push cart in the rose garden and came into the embassy. Then they took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador. After that, and until my next appearance, I had some free time, so I wandered around. That's when I spotted a chimney. A chimney like that is a rare thing, you know? So, when I wanted to play Santa, I decided to give it a try.
Larry, I thought I just finished telling you not to lie anymore.
But it's kind of ultra embarrassing.
And what exactly is so ultra embarrassing that you can't tell me?
Edgy, man. So, I just said it was embarrassing, so, well, of course, I can't just blurt it out. So you're just gonna have to reason it out of me. I'm your superior. As your superior, I command you to hurry up and expose this man's lie.
Consider it done.
I have every intention to, for I'm not about to let us waste time on such a trifling matter.
After the show, I left the push cart in the rose garden and came into the embassy. Then they took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador. After that, and until my next appearance, I had some free time, so I wandered around. That's when I spotted a chimney. A chimney like that is a rare thing, you know? So then, I wanted to play Santa and decided to give it a try.
You suddenly wanted to play Santa?
Oh, well, actually, I dressed up as Santa once before already. That was down at Gourd Lake.
I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't dredge up such unnecessary memories for me.
Sounds like you guys share a lot of history. A perk to being childhood friends, huh? Besides, it's not a felony to dress up and play Santa, you know. Santa doesn't go around killing people after he comes down a family's chimney, after all.
Actually, is it worth her delving into whether or not playing Santa is a big deal?
Yes, I do.
Actually, I believe in the case of this man. Playing Santa is actually quite a big deal.
Are Are you saying that your buddy isn't exactly made of Santa quality stuff?
Precisely. You hit the nail on the head, Agent Lang.
Hey, Edgy, that's so incredibly mean!
Tell me something, Larry. Did you know that Santa's job is to deliver presents to people all over the world?
Of course I know that! I did graduate from junior high, you know!
In that case, it's your turn to tell me something. I want you to tell me to whom you were delivering a present to.
I was, delivering a present to a child, not basking in the glow of the love.
That must be the most elegant description of you you've ever heard. But a lie is still a lie.
You know how to kick a guy when he's down. You know that?
In any case, the person you wish to deliver a present to, who was most certainly this.
Take that!
Interesting taste you have there at Mr. Suspect.
Don't spread lies about me! I totally didn't want to see Miss Oldbag. It's so much that I tried to go down the chimney. Ow! I advise you to stop right there in your bashing of a lady.
Well, I must admit, that I myself hardly ever have the want to run into that lady. However, what if you were misinformed, that under the wrong impression, then what?
Define wrong impression.
I simply mean that the man before you thought to enter the old lady's room without knowing one very important fact. And that fact is best summed up with this.
Take that!
Oops, that was the wrong one. Let's speed through this. Because I feel like I really should wrap this up. Man, they go on for long. For a wrong answer. Try again.
Take that!
That's more like it.
This is something the old lady received from her employer for the night. The girl who normally plays the princess, Mindy, was it again? It seems that this man is quite taken to that actress.
But that's not true, Edgy! She's the one with the hots for me! I just know it! I can feel her sexy beam piercing my heart when she's watching me. Sexy beam, I tell you! You filthy, despicable, inconsiderate, fickle, idiotic, cowardly apparition of a man! You haven't matured at all since we last met.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor,
Yes?
this guy, he's got bigger problems than just getting involved in murders, I take it.
I suppose you could put it that way.
Hey, what the heck, man? And I don't get you guys at all. Why do you all have to make me He ought to be some sort of bad guy.
To return to the original topic, I propose that at least this much has been made clear. Without any knowledge that Miss Mindy was feeling ill, Larry tried to make his way into the Pink Princess's room. That much we know is for sure.
Hey, Edgy, looks like I've got the hang of this court thing now.
We're not in a court at the moment.
Shut up! I see what's going on here, and it looks like what you do in a court.
I guess old boy here, still has something he'd like to talk. I guess the old boy here still has something he'd like to say. Long Shi says, until the root of the tongue dries, one never knows the whole truth. You shouldn't form conclusions on everything until everything is out in the open, which is why I'll listen. Alright, let's get ready to listen.
Alright, then get ready to listen to me defeat Edgy in battle of wits.
Larry, have you forgotten that should I lose, your victory prize will be your arrest? Larry's assertion.
To think that all I wanted to do was go visit Mindy. Well, I dressed up as Santa and climbed up to the chimney, but the smoke was really thick. It was a case of mistaken identity, and that mistake made me late for the speech. Then, to top it all off, I became a suspect in a murder that's what you really meant. But why would I ever put myself through such humiliation on purpose?
Oh, Larry.
Hey, somebody say something!
Larry, are you seriously trying to submit this, not as a confession, but as testimony?
So what if I am? Is there something wrong with that? My claim is a claiming he took my claim. So you have a problem with that?
So it was you. You're my stalker. But I should warn you, it doesn't matter what kind of flattery you throw at me. I'm devoted.
Oh, fuck, she's talking fast now.
I'm so inspired. You're such an inconsiderate, cowardly, idiotic, all-around, completely worthless man.
I thought I heard something ominous just now, but perhaps it was just my imagination. I believe there is something further for me to prove at this point.
What do you mean? Of course you've still got something to prove. You still have to show some proof that I was trying to meet up with Mindy.
Proof, you say?
Remember, Reggie, everything is evidence in court, right?
You mean evidence is everything in court, Larry. But I understand your point.
Yeah, see? I'm totally a pro at this now.
Very well. If you wish to see the evidence, then let me show you the last piece of evidence you'll ever wish to see. All we gotta do is just present one item.
So, you think that all I wanted to do was go visit Mindy?
Objection!
Larry, don't even think about denying that you have knowledge of this letter.
Hey! Why are you showing me that thing to me? Wendy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight, your loving night. Well, isn't that just romantic?
But you weren't able to ascend on her from above, were you, Mr. Loving Knight?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't remember a thing.
So you pretend to be ignorant all you'd like. You can pretend to be ignorant all you like, but it's written right here. This letter proves you were not out to meet the old lady, but rather that you were attempting to pay Miss Mindy a visit.
Take that!
Larry, I suggest you wake up. You take penmanship lessons. That is, if you ever wish to experience this level of embarrassment if you never wish to experience this level of embarrassment ever again.
What the heck? What are you talking about? Speak English!
You wrote Mindy so sloppily that it became Wendy to the average eye.
Hey, stop picking on me. It's so embarrassing.
There. Isn't that what childhood friends are for? They're the best, aren't they? For punching? But that will have to wait until we're off this crime scene.
Hey, Edgy, save me from the scary man.
Sure, if you're willing to make amends, starting with your incredibly embarrassing mistake.
That wasn't me.
Come again?
It's a fake. Someone's out to get me. So they made that fake letter. To set me up. Accept your defeat graciously. But you guys are being so mean.
Penmanship analysis?
What's that?
No matter who, all people have certain unique features to their handwriting. Ergo, all we have to do is compare the handwriting in this letter to a sample of yours. And we'll know soon enough who it was that sent this letter.
I'll never write another thing in my life.
It's no use, Mr. Loving Knight, for you already graciously provided me with the sample of your handwriting.
Take that!
This autograph in our mysterious letter. If we compare the handwriting, we'll know the answer to our question soon enough. Confess now, Larry, to your miserable failure!
I'm so sorry. I did it. It was me causing trouble again. I admit it. You hit the nail on the head, Edgy.
So he finally confesses.
I saw the pink princess being carried around by a stretcher and got worried, alright? I wanted to go into Mindy's room, but the doctors wouldn't let me in. So what choice did I have? It was the chimney or bust, Edgy.
Your mind jumped from the door to the chimney? What a criminally overactive imagination.
Well, at least I was honest and wrote Mindy a letter and stuck it under the door. That way, she wouldn't be shocked when I came down through the chimney.
Except for the fact that the letter, was an utter failure at conveying said statement.
I'm really, really sorry.
Larry, you may be a shameful good-for-nothing blight on the face of humanity. However, I always knew you weren't the killer. I told you to trust me. Because, at the very least, I can attest to that about you.
Edgy, you're... We've lost a lot of valuable time because of you. Ow! In any case, I believe if we can simply say that we now know exactly what happened. Mr. Larry Butts sought to climb down the chimney, not for access to the crime scene, but to enter the room of an elderly lady next door.
Great job, Mr. Prosecutor. Although I still find it a bit unbelievable that the two of you are friends. But the suspicion on that guy over there isn't completely resolved yet, so don't get any funny ideas about running off, okay?
Ow! Hey, what? Edgy, what does the wolfman mean when he says I'm not off the hook yet?
He means the murder weapon. Larry, did you forget? There are 2 layers of suspicions hanging over your head.
That's exactly what I mean. We can't only rely on the words of the suspect after all. We may have figured out where he was and what he was doing all night. But the blood-stained samurai sword was left at the crime scene. As long as there is no satisfactory explanation to that, this wolf will refuse to ease up on his bite.
Edgy, that guy, he looks like he's seriously about to take a bite out of me.
I'm well aware, and you should be as well, that this upcoming battle will be crucial.
Thanks to the cooperation of our lovely Blubber. I've been dealt a very nice hand, and a sweet trump card. Looks like we're about to enter the final bout. Now, Mr. Prosecutor, let's see what you've got.
I can easily point out the contradiction in the supposed murder weapon, but the real problem for me is figuring out what the real murder weapon was. This will be a high-stakes gamble, but this is one game I can't afford to lose. Why, Larry?
I was the one who found the body of the victim Damas 2. Besides him was the samurai sword, glittering red, and offering up the scent of blood. It was supposed to be in the Steel Samurai's dressing room, but I found it here instead. Plus, I found the murder weapon's owner, the suspect, Larry Butts, in here too.
Isn't that a bit far-fetched to accuse someone simply on the basis of ownership?
But this owner wanted to sneak into the crime scene. I think that's plenty to go on, don't you?
If you're alluding to his reason for being by the chimney, we've already established that.
Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. You two are longtime friends, right? Who's to say you didn't fabricate the evidence to give him an alibi?
You're accusing me of fabricating evidence?
You think I can believe anything you produce? Forging evidence is all you prosecutors do.
This man has some serious issues with prosecutors.
But come on, I can't think up something as complicated as that, right, Itchy?
Larry, I can agree because I know you and your personality well. However, Agent Lang knows nothing about you. Or me, for that matter. I sense his hatred for my entire profession emanating from his entire being. Meaning that the only way I can prove Larry's innocence is to present irrefutable evidence.
Let's just get on with it. I was the one who found the body of the victim, Damask II. Beside him was the samurai sword, glittering red and offering the scent of blood.
Excuse me, but glittering red and offering the scent of blood?
Do I have to spell it out for you? I mean the sight and smell of blood, of course. And according to the test, the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. The sword was made to only be used on stage, so it's not sharp. But it is pretty weighty, so considerably heavy. It's considerably heavy enough to beat someone to death with. Which leads me to the suspect that the victim was beaten to death with the sword.
Beaten to death, huh? This last statement is too important to just let it slip up.
Besides him, the samurai sword was covered in blood. Besides him was the samurai sword, covered in the victim's blood. I suspect he beat the victim to death with that thing.
Objection!
Do you know what this is, Agent Lang?
It's a long spear, right? We used to use those a lot in my country a long time ago. Piercing, mowing people down, spears are the weapon of heroes throughout history.
It's the next most effective weapons after the whip.
I think the whip is in a slightly different category.
So, what's your point? Are you going to tell me that the spear is the real weapon?
No, I simply want you to take a look at this selection here.
The way it's bent?
Precisely. Apparently, a certain troublemaker hit it against the wall in this embassy earlier. And as you can clearly see, the insides of the steel samurai's weapons are hollow. In other words, they're replicas that aren't strong enough to deliver a damaging blow, let alone the multiple strikes necessary to bludgeon someone to death. And yet there is not even a dent in the samurai's sword. How do you explain that?
Oh yeah! The sword and the spear are made of the same stuff, so they bend easily. But I wish they'd make them out of better stuff, because the spear got bent. I wasn't able to do my special early summer range job move. Man, I got such an earful from the director of the play for not doing it in the show.
The Steel Samurai's special move was changed tonight because of him?
Ouch! That's more than enough of your whiny whimpering. Now, back to the topic of the spear.
Yes, let's return to the real topic of discussion. This is where the real gamble begins. I don't have a real strategy per se, so all I can do for now is let the chips fall where they may.
Using guesswork and taking risk in place of real logic is hardly a Von Karma way. It's neither smart nor very clever.
Ms. Von Karma, as you know, unlike your father, I am not a genius prosecutor. Plus, I doubt this record of a 40-year win streak will ever be broken. But perhaps it is for the best, as if it remains unbroken. For no one should have conceived of the notion of convict all defense in the first place.
What a foolishly foolish statement from a foolishly fool who hates to lose. It's the job of a prosecutor to make sure that all defendants are found guilty in court. There is nothing more important in this world than the perfect victory.
Hold it!
That may be your opinion. However, I don't believe that's all we are. As a prosecutor, what I pursue is not the perfect victory, but the perfect truth. And if that means that the bridge I must cross will crumble beneath my feet, then let it crumble as I walk on towards the truth.
You're good at keeping me entertained, Mr. Prosecutor. But you know, humans are delicate creatures. The slight bump and we expire. I'd like you to consider, if you will, the possibility that the sword was used in which a way that the attack killed Damas 2 without benting it. We're going over the 2-hour mark here. This really needs to be wrapped up. So, what do you think of my hypothetical scenario? You think you know what to do here, right? and what you need.
Of course. What I need is evidence even Agent Lang can't refute. This is it. It's time to bring it to a close.
It's possible to use the samurai sword to kill someone. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We searched the embassy top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on that sword. So, isn't it only natural that suspicion would fall onto the owner of the weapon?
How long do you intend to cling on to the preposterous? How long do you intend to cling on to that preposterous theory?
As long as I want, because we examined every corner within the walls of this embassy. There's no stone we left unturned. And we have managed to come up with only one logical conclusion. That the only place inside this embassy with the victim's blood on it is this sword.
You left no stone unturned. Is that a fact?
If you got something to say, then say it in the If you got something to say, then say it in the only way I respect, Mr. Prosecutor.
Yes, of course. In that case, allow me to make it all crystal clear for you.
It's possible to use the samurai sword to kill someone. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We searched the emissary top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on that weapon.
The only place where you could find blood was on the samurai sword?
That's right. Even with luminol. Which means that there are no other possibilities outside of what I've already outlined.
Do I have a problem with Agent Lang's argument?
Yeah, I do. Raise an objection.
If you do believe that there is no other door of possibility left to open, then allow me to force one open for you.
And how do you plan to do that?
By showing you what may possibly be the real murder weapon.
The real murder weapon? I hate to repeat myself, but my men have already searched the entire every last inch of this embassy. And they've concluded that nothing else could have been used as the weapon. Knowing these facts, do you still want to press forward with your little hypothesis?
Of course. Because it's not possible that your men investigated everything in their investigation.
What are you talking about? I don't appreciate mind games, and I don't appreciate it when people like you slander my men.
I'm not slandering them, I assure you. I'm merely pointing out that their investigation, Dragon, has a few holes in it. Namely, that there is something your men couldn't even lay a finger on. And that item is the real murder weapon.
Alright then.
And
I'll play along for now. This real murder weapon that killed Damas 2. What exactly is it?
The real murder weapon, which not a single person has yet to touch, is this.
Take that!
The national treasure of Elabest.
You mean the Primaduck statue?
Yes, and as you know, only the ambassador and his secretariats may touch it. Which I believe means that neither you nor your men were able to examine it, correct?
You know very well that if we did that, there'd be an international incident between the Kingdom of Alabas and the Republic of Baal. The two countries' precious relationship teeters in the balance over a stupid fight relating to a sovereignty statue. But I'll be damned if I get something so unexamined. But I'll be damned if I let something go unexamined.
Agent Lang, if you could take a look at this. The direction the statue is facing just before and after the crime scene are different. There is only one conclusion I can draw from that.
Go look for Ambassador Alba and get him to give us permission, give us the okay to examine the statue.
Shifu, you can't listen to this infidel's words.
He is most definitely trying to trick you.
Shifu, please, let's be rational about this.
Lingxi says, just go already!
Yes, sir! Shifu.
Yeah?
I'm really sorry, but I was unable to convince the ambassador. I was unable to obtain permission for us to examine the Primaduck statue.
I see.
Wait. But then, the investigation is at a standstill. Agent Lang, I will go and speak with the ambassador personally.
Save your breath. He may act all weak and frail, but that old man's one tough cookie. But I guess you've gotta be tough when you're representing a whole country, you know?
Agent Lang.
What do you want? Let's just hurry up and examine the statue already.
But Shifu, what about causing an international incident?
Quiet! I'll take the fall if I have to later.
Agent Ling, the hypothesis is mine, so if someone has to take responsibility, let it be me.
Responsibility? If we're going to talk in such heavy terms, maybe I should let you. It'd be a real problem for my men if something were to happen to me. Alright then. Less talk and more investigating.
If we want to know the truth, we can't stop here. Action must be taken. Agent Lang, I'd like to run a chemiluminescence test on this statue.
A luminal test? Good thinking. If the statue is the murder weapon, then some of the victim's blood should be on it. Okay. Let's get the forensics team in here. Looks like you hit the jackpot, Mr. Prosecutor. I guess this means that this is the real murder weapon that killed Damas 2.
Indeed. But I wouldn't celebrate just yet, if I were you. This doesn't let your friend...
Oh wait, that's Lang. But I wouldn't celebrate yet, if I were you. This doesn't let your friend off the hook. It doesn't prove that he didn't kill Damas 2, so the charges remain.
We are hardly done examining this statue, Agent Lang. Knowing that this is the real murder weapon, I believe further examination is required.
You think so? Alright then. Okay then, knock yourself out. And what do we have here? This dirty smudge. It looks like a handprint. What's a definitive bit of evidence like you doing under here? Looks like I've got some fingerprints to analyze.
Worst case scenario, these prints belong to Larry. But it looks like it's too late for me to do anything about that now.
Hey, forensics guy, I want the results of these fingerprints ASAP, you hear me?
Agent Lang, I have the analyst's results here.
Good, and?
Sir, about the prints we lifted from the bottom of the statue. Well, you know the victim of the murder in the Babalese embassy? The prints belong to him, to Mr. Manny Cohen, sir.
But that's... What's going on around here?
No, that's impossible. Each Primadox statue can only be handled by someone of that country. But by the very fact that Mr. Cochin fingerprints are on this statue, it leads me to only one conclusion. This statue is actually Babel's Primadox statue.
Impossible! It can't be! Aye!
Larry never once set foot on Babel's soil, so he was free to go. However, this new piece of information only served to confuse us even further. The ringleader of the smuggling operation was killed with an Alabastian knife in Babel. And Damas 2 was killed on Alabastian soil with Babel's national treasure. And the mystery of the great thief Yatagarasu who visited both countries The pieces were there, but I had yet to see the big picture they were to form.
And that concludes today's episode. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Let's Replay Ace Attorney Investigations. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, hit that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment if you want. Ring that bell to be notified when our next video comes out. We do new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and occasionally Saturday and Sundays. Until the next video, all this helps my channel to grow so you have more videos to enjoy. Until the next episode, this is Saur Darkchylde, signing off. Have a good night, folks.